Hi, sorry, I'm chewing a bit. So someone had added a channel, like featured channel, so what it said. Some channel I didn't prescribe to, but it was like hacked for a while. So anyway, I think I ended last thing about yoga with the beach mantra, Satnam. And now we are going into relaxation. I just have to chew first. So it says, Yogi Bhajan says, total harmonious relaxation cures the body. To achieve this, there must be a coordination between the three facets of ourselves: body, mind, and soul. I wonder if, yeah, it moves. I'm sorry, I must stop chewing now. Uh, so it have been a lot here, and that's the first thing to go. I mean, relaxation is the first thing to, in my case, and for many, I think. When we have a lot to do. So here are some chapters, but I will just dive into it. And I love to do it. It's just time sometimes, If you, recall, oh God, I should do it like 11 at night, especially when I do these breathing techniques. I like to do them for a long time, it takes like an hour. I get more out of them then. It doesn't have to be that long. And it's not that I try to make it long. It's just that I feel it more than. I just enjoy it more than. But sometimes I actually do something meanwhile. I don't think you should listen to something or watch something. I don't know. I don't think that's in the prescription. Anyways, relaxation during yoga class. I don't think we read this. I'm not sure. But I will continue here anyway because it's a repetition if not. The ability to relax is essential for physical and mental well-being. Relaxation is difficult for the most people who tend to turn on the TV. Yeah, that's the thing, or something. Or turn to alcohol and drugs to relax. Also, I don't think the net was maybe, I don't know when they wrote this. It's not very new. Kundalini Yoga gives people the tools to be able to truly relax. Relaxation is an important part of the rhythm of exercise and change in Kundalini Yoga. The physiological and neural state of a student is elevated after completing a Kundalini Yoga Kriya. It is this physiology of awakening and awareness. During this state, relaxation serves several functions. So it's different, of course, than if you just generally relax. Rejuvenation, especially the parasympathetic nervous system, distribution of prana stimulated by the exercises, releasing rigid patterns in the muscle and blood flow, circulating glandular changes, centering one's emotional energies, learning how to handle stress and letting go, memorizing the relaxation sensation, integrating a new pattern after an old one is broken, creating a rhythm or pulse of energy. And I really like the relaxation part after kriyas or positions like asanas. Simple relaxation. With beginners, especially simple relaxation is added between exercises. Often the pattern thought by Yogi Bhajan was 1 to 3 minutes of relaxation between exercises or after a short sequence, for example, or for instance, 3 exercises. The entire Kriya and meditation would then be followed by a 10 to 15-minute deep relaxation or a yogic sleep called Yoga Nidra. In more advanced Kriyas, the use of relaxation varies greatly. Sometimes there will be no relaxation between exercises, just 10 to 30-second pauses. Other times we'll call for 1 or 2 5-minute yogic sleeps. Interesting. I wonder this thing about Satnam. It was so fantastic, so I almost want to read it again. I was going to tell someone about this. You say Satnam when you do the Satkriya. But then I just read this part about the Satkriya and not about Satnam, which is actually a little bit even more interesting. So good to remember that now so I can tell that person. Okay, anyways, moving on. It's a huge book to hold, but importance of relaxation. Relaxation is difficult for most people because of a subliminal level of emotional conflict or turmoil. Even as we go about our tasks, there is an inner emotive dialogue that generates patterns of anxiety, anger, hopelessness, or other self-defeating emotions. That is called commotional living. It drains the reserve energy of the nervous system and creates defenses and armoring against the discomfort. Relaxation that releases such patterns and that open us to new inner organization of our resources is essential. To do it effectively, we need to change the distribution of prana, the vital life force in the body, and activate systems of nerves that allow the self to reorganize patterns of being and acting. Kundalini Yoga and the transformational processes of humanology are an effective and versatile way to create the level of relaxation. There are technologies of the soul that can be done by an individual for 40 days to completely alter the quality of their daily encounter of life. I mean, truly, I find this absolutely fascinating because I've seen what it can do. Someone is here still. Hi, someone. And I'm trying to learn to become a teacher in this. That's why I read it here so I don't skip things. I mean, yeah, I digest it better then. We rarely meet life directly. We do it through the mask of the personae, through the maps of our mind, through the unconscious patterns of habit and attention, and through the projections of our emotions. By penetrating to the core of the pattern of commotion and relaxing into our elementary or core self, life becomes new, fresh, revitalized. Lightness and hope come into every step. And then we have moving away there. Ultimate relaxation. Another dimension of relaxation comes from this was important. Comes from the fact that we are a reality, a soul, a creative, expressive essence who can initiate things within this world. We have a dimension of ourselves which is free, spontaneous, and connected to all things. But the process of manifestation into the gross realms proceeds in a flow from essence to thought forms, to feelings, to patterns of feelings, persona, to desires. That is like patterns of feeling is what persona is in this description. To desires and projections, and to actions and habits. This is like a description of the medicine wheel, but reversed. Like you begin with what comes last there when you work in the medicine wheel. Anyway, we easily forget the essence, which we then work towards becoming aware of in that particular practice too. We easily forget the essence, the freedom, the choice to begin actions by recognizing the intention and purpose of the heart. Instead, we become entangled in the web of attachments and actions we initiated in other times and situations. We get out of contact with the guidance and choices of our soul as we cross the ups and downs of our own wake from past choices. To relax in the midst of a hurricane, we must find the center, the inner eye like in also, yeah, the eye of the storm, but also the eye as in who we are. To direct the mind in this way, we gather energy, ask ourselves certain questions and statements that guide the mind in a natural sequence through its three primary functional aspects: negative mind, positive mind, and neutral mind. Then we dwell in the presence of the self and let the miracles happen. With this resource, we can be relaxed amid the greatest challenges, and we can remember our real selves in the most unreal situations. Beautiful. And I absolutely stand by these teachings. Then there are the postures, and you don't see the images here, but postures for relaxation. A baby pose. This is a good posture for relaxation between yoga exercises in a set, especially after a backward bending exercise. In rock pose, rest your forehead on the ground, arms are alongside the body, palms facing up. And then there is Guru Pranam. This is a variation of baby pose. The arms are stretched out on the floor in front of the head, palms together. And easy pose. Easy pose is appropriate as a brief relaxation during a set. Lightly concentrate at the brow with a relaxed breath, inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam. This is not a time for long, deep breathing or mechanical breathing. Knees pulled up is the next one then. Laying, you say, right? I don't know. On the back with the knees pulled up and the arms wrapped around the knees is a good way to relax after forward bending exercise. And the last one they describe here is corpse pose, Savasana. Shavasana, maybe you say. Corpse pose or Shavasana is the best position for deep relaxation. Lie on the back, arms at the sides, palms facing up, ankles uncrossed. And this is like what you do in this long relaxation after. And usually do easy pose in between. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sore, although I'm not going into that, by the way. Anyway, leading a class into deep relaxation. Deep relaxation, maybe we did this last time, but anyway, is not just the absence of movement. It brings profound relaxation to the physical body, allowing us to enjoy and consciously integrate the mind-body changes which have been brought about during the practice of a Kriya. We may sense the extension of the self through the magnetic field and the aura. Most people do not know how to relax. Leading a class into deep relaxation is an opportunity for you to teach the students how to relax. You will develop your own style and language for guiding the class into the state of deep relaxation. Following is an example of how it might sound. You may want to cover your body with a blanket or shawl to keep warm. Lie down on your back with your arms at your sides. Rest your arms with the palms facing up. Feet are uncrossed. Close your eyes. Relax the breath. Let the belly naturally rise and fall. Let everything else go. You've done all you could and you should. And all you should. Prepare to heal, rejuvenate, relax, let go and let God. Consciously instruct your body and mind to let go. Go through your body systematically and give permission for each part, limb, and cell to relax. Instruct each part of your body to lovingly release tension as you mentally say, relax or release or Satnam. The teacher will bring attention to each body part. This is like oftentimes known as sleep yoga. Anyways, relax your feet, relax your legs, etc. The teacher may bring the student's attention to guiding the contraction of each muscle and releasing it. This actually is one thing. Yeah, we did last time I had something with a few people. Anyway, here on the other page, I think I did this last. The teacher's guidance of a class into deep relaxation. I feel like as if I did it, but I can do it again. Yeah, the mind and meditation is the next. So, okay, I will do this anyway. Creating the environment for deep relaxation, or even yoga, I believe, in other cases. Create a safe environment for the students to relax into by assuring as much as possible that there will be no interruptions or unnecessary noise. If the class is being held in an environment with unavoidable noise, instruct the class to integrate that noise into their aura. Remind them that they do not have to react or resist the noise. Kundalini Yoga music. Oh, my cat really loves that. Choose uplifting, calm mantra music. Be aware of the particular frequency and rhythm of the mantra. Silence. If the class is being held in a calm, quiet environment, a silent relaxation can be very beneficial. Gong. The rhythmic overtones of the gong clear the aura. Yogi Bhajan says the mind has no defense against the gong. Proper training is necessary to correctly play a gong. Oh, that is fantastic. Visualization. In some instances, the teacher may lead the students in a guided visualization. The teacher never lies down and relaxes with the students. Coming out of deep relaxation. Gently invite the class back to their body awareness. Breathe in and out deeply. Move your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and ankles in both directions. Stretch the spine, arms overhead, and do a few cat stretches to each side. Rub the hands and the feet together. Roll back and forth a few times on the back. So here is the guided one. Lie down on your back with your arms at your sides on the ground. One teacher's guided relaxation. You can do it many ways, yeah? And as I said, now lie down on your backs or back with your arms at your sides on the ground. Relax the arms and the palms facing up. Close your eyes. Relax the breath. Let everything go. Let everything else go. You've done all you could and all you should. Prepare to heal, rejuvenate, relax. Let go and let God. Consciously instruct your body and mind to be whole and let go. Go through your body systematically and give permission for each limb and cell to relax. Bring each part to alert by contracting it, squeezing it tightly for a moment, and with love release the tension as you mentally say, relax. Start with your feet. Feet relax. Ankles relax. Calves relax. Knees relax. Thighs relax. Back of the legs relax. Hips and buttocks relax. Pelvis relax. Fingers and hands relax. Wrists relax. Forearms relax. Elbows relax. Upper arms relax. Shoulders relax. Shoulders and neck begin to relax. Neck relax. Muscles all the way down the spine and back relax. All the muscles of the back relax. Buttocks, navel point, and belly relax. Chest and ribs relax. Squeeze the face like a prune, relax. Click the tongue several times. Relax. Press the lips tightly. Relax. Squeeze the eyelids closed. Relax. Face and head, relax. Now let the healing gaze of your inner eye and heart bless each inner organ and gland and give permission for even a deeper relaxation. Even deeper relaxation. To heal, to rejuvenate, to lighten, to brighten, to heighten the glow of each cell and open the flow of life to all, freely, now. Lungs, relax. Heart, relax. Thymus and the entire immune system, relax. Stomach, intestines, rectum, relax. Pancreas, relax. Both kidneys, relax. Adrenals, reserve of inner fire, relax. Spleen, relax. Liver, the great cleanser, purifier, storehouse, relax. Rejuvenate, heal. Sex organs, relax. Thyroid and parathyroid, relax. Upper glands of the brain, pituitary, pineal, relax. The brain itself, relax. All thoughts flow smoothly, relax. Good thoughts, healthy, happy, and holy. Let go, let God. Now, let the entire spine relax. Bathe in the inner light and energy. Begin at the base of the spine. Feel a wave like a ripple relax from the spine throughout the regions of the body. All the zones of creativity and sexuality relax. Flow, connect. With the body relaxed consciously and unconsciously, breathing rhythmically, smoothly, deeper and deeper. With each breath, leave the physical body to heal, to rejuvenate, to rest. Become light, weightless, as if you could freely rise in a mental body and float a few feet above the physical, looking down to see it is safe, healing deeply, relaxed. Listen to the music and let yourself go to any radiant, ecstatic place. Be blessed, where every promise to God is fulfilled. a timeless place, relaxed, complete, radiant, peaceful. And then, after some time of silence, come back to the full body awareness. Inhale deeply and stretch the arms up. Exhale. Rotate wrists and ankles. Rub the palms and soles of the feet together vigorously. Hold your knees onto the chest and roll back and forth the length of the spine several times. Sit up and stretch the arms up. Shake the hands and arms. And that's that. So now we come to the mind and meditation. Every human being who wants to excel and to develop the character and caliber that upholds the values of the soul need a direct fundamental relationship to the mind, says Yogi Bhajan. And Guru Nanak says, by conquering your mind, you can conquer the world. True that. And also Yogi Bhajan says, the mind is meant to go for infinity unless you train it to desire earth. And so I will read a little bit of this and then maybe pause again. There's a lot here about the mind and meditation, so I will start anyway. The three functional minds: the negative mind, reactive, protective; the positive mind, constructive, risk-taking, seeking fulfillment and possibilities; and the neutral mind, possessing, reflecting, uniqueness of the soul. And there are some descriptions of what words mean here also, so I will say them. Ahankar, the ego sense, which claims the impressions of the mind for its own and reacts to them. Atman, the essential self, present within all creatures, pure consciousness. The mind merely reflects the consciousness, so appears to be conscious. Interesting. Buddhi, the component of the mind which perceives reality, discriminates, and classifies the impressions which the manas receives. Oh, that's called Buddhi. Interesting. Really? Chitta is the universal mind. Gunas, the three conditions of matter: sattva, saintliness, pure essence; rajas, imperial, active, creative, or initiating energy; and tamas, inertia or decay. This is also in Ayurveda, yeah? Manas, the recording component of the mind, which receives impressions gathered by the senses from the outside world. Prakriti, matter, also are... No, that may be different spelling. Never mind. Maybe I said this before also. Primal nature, yeah, it's our essence also, which differs in uniqueness, like, yeah. Matter, primal nature, evolves under the influence of Purusha, so the self may enjoy experience. Composed of the three gunas. Purusha is the unmanifested spirit. Samskaras, tendencies, potentialities, and latent states which exist in the subconscious and unconscious areas of the mind. They are built up by the continued action of the thought waves and create new thought waves. Our samskaras define our character. I think about AI now. So no, never mind. Okay, the mind, and actually, one of my neighbor on one side, to the left, my neighbor is one I actually felt her children before in her belly before I knew she had kids. Anyways, when I visited her somewhere else she lived. Anyways, she was very interested in Ayurveda and the mind rather than just, that part of it she was very into. Anyways, what was I was going to say about that? I don't really remember now. Anyway, yeah. And to the right lives one of my neighbors who also lived in another place before where I could come and like they were more so into what is it called in English? Like spiritualism. That's the same word actually in Swedish. And I could do like readings at their place and so on if I wanted to. But yeah, never mind. And that song again. Never mind. I like that one. Oh, there is a new. Oh, okay, I'm drifting, but there is this new True Detective. There comes a new season. I'm looking forward to that one. That is where that Nevermind song is from. That was not my favorite season, though. But anyways, the song I love, and also Leonard Cohen, of course. Anyways, the mind exists as a servant to the soul. Success, happiness, and flow of prosperity are the result of mastering the mind. The mind exists as a servant to the soul, the Atman. But the mind is also a vast mechanism which is its own characteristics and its own momentum. When the mind is aligned with the soul, each thought that is stimulated from the intellect is perceived and acted on with clarity and reality. When the mind is full of unconscious identifications, emotions, projections, intentions, and attachments, the thought is perceived for other than what it is. Yeah. This masked thought becomes the basis of many false judgments and fruitless commitments. Yogi Bhajan has outlined the art and science of the control of the. What does it say? Oh, yeah, I thought it was B1 or by. It's of the 81. It says facets of the mind. Through the use of Kundalini Yoga, these 81 facets regulate the reaction of the personality, body, and mind to each thought. If the 81 facets can be controlled so that the mind perceives each thought clearly and surrenders to the intention of the soul, then inner and outer peace are granted. Do I even understand what I read? Yeah. If the 81 facets can be controlled so that with each thought the mind perceives it clearly and surrenders to the intention of the soul, then inner and outer peace are granted. Hey, someone is here. I'm trying to learn. That's why I read out loud. Anyway, there is a chat box here if you want to say something. Okay, the qualities behind all thoughts. This is deep. This is so deep. In classical yoga philosophy, the soul is accompanied on its journey from God through the creation by the mind. Okay, I have to even read that again. The soul is accompanied on its journey from God through the creation by the mind. Okay, all right. There is a diagram here, also you can see. The mind is part of nature, Prakriti, it says here. Doesn't it says, Prakriti, I almost said Prakriti. It says, okay, which includes both material and mind, is governed by the three primary forces of qualities called the gunas. The three gunas are sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva is subtle, clear, neutral, and pure. Tamas is heavy, confused, concealed, slow, unwavering, and persistent. Rajas is fierce, active, initiating, and is the power of transformation. These three qualities constantly intertwine, intermingle, intermix, contrast, advance, and withdraw in various combinations with each other. These are also obviously connected to the elements as well. It is these special combinations of quality that exist before the manifestation of thoughts. They are underneath or behind all things in creation. Yeah. We will get into the yogic philosophy, I guess, for more on the gunas there. But anyway, Chitta, the basic mind. Oh, this is so deep. Every word in this. I love depth, but I'm not used to read too many deep things, though. Okay. The three gunas operate to create the many functions of the universal mind, or chittas. The chitta is divided into three major functions that reflect the three gunas. The sattva guna is reflected in the buddhi mind. The buddhi mind perceives reality, discerns what is real from unreal, assesses neutrality, and judges in relation to infinite identity. Wow. Oh, then I understand the buddhi word. It represents the heavenly phenomena in activity of totality as totality. Oh gosh, that was. Hey, someone again. But anyways, what did it say before? Buddhi, the component of the mind which perceives reality, discriminates and classifies impressions which the manas receives. Yeah, in a great way then. The drajastic element reflects into ahankar. What's that word here? Also, yeah, the ego sense which claims the impressions of the mind for its own and reacts to them. All right. Ahankar, it says more about it here, is the part of the mind that grants identity and attachment. It gives a sense of self, of boundary, of containment, and the beginning of identity to the various blends of quality of the gunas. It represents, in its most positive sense, the heavenly activity of the coexistence of totality within a vacuum, for at this point it is unmanifested. Totality within a vacuum means that there are no boundaries or other defining aspects to contain the totality. Instead, all the qualities are mixed and are defined by their own combinations among themselves. Yeah, I'm a little bit lost on that one, but I'll keep reading. The third guna, tamas, reflects into the aspect of the mind called manas. This is the lower mind, the sensory mind, which is then what we start with in the medicine wheel, the south. Yeah. It is the one most commonly dealt with by the psychologists in contemporary times. Along with the images, sounds, feelings, and smells of all the senses combining into reactive and creative sequences, manas also includes the subconscious reactions and commotions that are stored. Manas represents the heavenly activity of the coexistence of totality within the finite. The mind, or chitta, takes on the particular blend of qualities in association with each thought that passes through it. The blend of qualities is the result of the relative levels of activity of the buddhi, ahankar, and manic capacities of the mind. The individual, through experience in the world and through reactions to her or his own mental phenomena, creates various reactions that are recorded into the subconscious and superconscious mind. This accumulation of actions and reactions form a momentum of the mind. If the thought from the intellect does not perfectly agree with the long established momentum of the mind reacts by projecting a particular blend of colors around the thought. That color that interacts with the personality projections and interactions of that individual. Yeah, everything we see actually or experience, our mind or our brain uh, uh, makes it suitable before we see it. Actually, we don't see something instantly, even or hear or whatever. We pick it up. We hear quicker than we see. Actually, this is science, anyways, because that's why they use the um, when they start, runners, they use a gun to because we react quicker to the sound. If it was like a sign or something, they wouldn't start as quickly running. Anyway, so but still, we have to like comprehend what we experience. So, and we, according to science, anyways, we first before we even pick it up, we mold it to what our brain is used to in a high degree. Although we can pick up new information or learn new things, obviously, and see new things. That's the cool thing. But we can't like dive into new reality like suddenly, like a totally. We would lose our minds, and that's why also the medicine wheel is built that way, because we have to do it in like gradual steps to be able to perceive more. Or we aren't built in a way that we can like force it, because our brains or minds wouldn't accept that. So we have to gradually awaken, so to speak. All right. But maybe, I mean, there are those stories about sudden awakening. So probably that's possible, maybe, but according to science, not so much. Anyways, yeah. Basic characteristics of the mind. First, the mind is largely automatic. Since the mind is fast and beyond the categories of time and space, it supports your actions with many more thoughts than you could ever act on. Yeah, stressful. The result of this is that it is not you who thinks, your mind thinks, not you. It floods you with thoughts, both wanted and unwanted, intended and unintended. Not all thoughts support that which is you. You are awareness itself, and not all these thoughts. You are actually carried through the soul. Second, the mind is ever moving. If it stops, it cannot function. It is not a local phenomenon. Just like in the ocean, you can feel waves that were generated from far away. So in the mind, you have thoughts and feelings from the entire universe and every other person. Some of us don't have those boundaries, that we don't feel those waves. We pick it up, and our mind um, translates it. So that's what it is, I guess, being a psychic and medium and all that. But all of us pick it up somehow. Yeah, without knowing or understanding it, maybe. The places and people you are most attuned to and attached to are what usually fill your stream of thoughts. As you become more neutral and non-attached, the scope of those thoughts and feelings widens. Third, the mind functions best on contrasts. It seeks polarities and tends to classify things in pairs, in positive and negative, in good and bad. Consider your eyes. They constantly move with motions called saccadic motion. If this is stopped artificially with a drug you cannot see, your eyes need that movement to provide contrast and comparisons to your nervous system, so your nervous system can construct your vision. Interesting. It is the same with the mind. It seeks contrast and polarity. Since the mind is iris, ir, what? No, impersonal, it says, yeah, as well as personal, you find this search for contrast and extremes throughout nature. Wow. Fourth, the mind is just as material as the body, only it is subtler. And that is like what we work with in the West, in the medicine wheel anyway. Water exists in degrees of subtlety, from vapor to liquid to ice. Just so you can think of the mind as the vapor, the feelings as water, and the neurons and connections as ice. This is so beautiful, I feel. Right. The mind is the vapor, the feelings, the water, and the neurons and connections, the ice. The mind is a structure, a process, and an energy that lets your awareness operate and manifest in this creation. You can observe it and you can change it. You can affect it with gross things like food, powerful things like breath, and subtle things like thoughts. It has its own flow, structure, and metabolism. The mind itself does not stop. That is why a point of stillness is one of the essential tools you need to look into the mind. This is where special techniques like meditation, mantra, and breath control are needed. Using the mind to try and convince the mind to be still is like stopping a hurricane by blowing at it. This was beautiful also. Using your mind to try and convince the mind to be still is like stopping a hurricane by blowing at it. That's what it feels like when you try to try to almost like convince others to do these things. Yeah. Interesting. There is too much going on. A further difficulty is that you use your mind to observe your mind. Just imagine two mirrors facing each other at a slight angle. If you put a candle in between and look into the mirror, you can see hundreds of candles, reflections upon reflections. The mind can reflect back on itself and create images within images, thoughts within thoughts. We need to be able to affect the mind without getting caught in an infinite self reference. Okay. We need to be able to affect the mind without getting caught in an infinite self-reference. To do that, we need to understand the structure of the mind, recognize the origin of thought, and consciously determine which thoughts are consistent with our true self. What does it say here? Facets of your mind regulate the reactions of the personality, body, and mind to each thought. Okay. It is 81 facets. If the 81 facets can be controlled so that the mind perceives each thought clearly, then the mind can align with the intention of the soul. The result is effectiveness, inner and outer peace, and awakened intuition. Wow, beautiful. And again, someone is here, back and forth. Yeah. So the three minds: negative, positive, neutral. There are three functional aspects to the mind. Feels like I read this already, but I'll see how much I will read though. It's super interesting, but I can't read forever, so I will just maybe take this and the next page. There are three functional aspects of the mind. The negative or protective mind is given by survival. It is reactive, protective, and searches for potential danger. It is sensitive to pain, and it shields you from the forces that may disrupt or destroy. The positive or expansive mind searches for pleasure, fulfillment, and possibility in how you can utilize things in your experience. It is constructive, risk-taking, and active. Yeah. I think you'd have to sometimes, I don't know if that is said here, but sometimes you have to move through the positive, I mean, from that negative mind, then you need to move through the positive to get to this neutral or meditative mind. So the neutral or meditative mind is the mind that judges and assesses without attachment in relation to your own purpose and reality. The neutral mind observes the actions of both the negative and positive mind and judges both in relationship to your higher self. Each thought is filtered through the negative, the positive, and the neutral minds. These aspects of the mind are developed differently in each individual. Some people have a stronger negative mind, or a stronger positive mind, or a stronger neutral mind. Occasionally, all three are strong, existing in balance. This is the enlightened mind. Oh, cool. You would believe, or some people would believe, that the neutral or meditative mind is the enlightened mind. No, that's so interesting. This is the enlightened mind. It is flexible and creative and able to reflect the uniqueness of the soul. Beautiful. Patanjali's 8 limbs of and the 3 minds. The negative mind is mastered with yamas and niyamas. It still feels like I've read this already, but I read it again. The positive mind is mastered with asanas and pranayam. The neutral mind is mastered with pratyahar, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. And we need them all, yeah. Then I'll just have to see if maybe I've read far more than this without even knowing it, because I think I should also. Here it comes, and the endocrine system and everything. Feels like I read that before. And also the mantras and everything. Didn't I read this before? I'm sorry, I just feel like I have read this a lot. Then again, I will do it again and I learn it better then, hopefully. Okay. The meditative mind is the neutral mind that runs your destiny. There are 3 ways to construct your destiny. Through the law of karma, action, and reaction, you can tune into the magnetic field of the earth and just float with it as a freeloader, or your life can be run by that magnetic, attractive, creative, meditative, neutral mind. That way you do very well, says Yogi Bhajan. Yeah. Wow, beautiful. The cycle of the intellect. Imagine the soul giving the radiant impulse to the mind to have, to have manas, ahankar, and buddhi activate the intellect to produce a thought. When that thought is realized through the intellect, which is part of the mind, it produces feelings which produce emotions, which then result in desires, which lead to action. The sequence of manifestation is universal. But there is a problem. When the intellect releases the thought, it is compelled to do so from the soul. The mind itself has gathered biases, attachment, and blends of actions and reactions in the subconscious through experience. When the thought is released, the mind processes it via a complex blend of manas, ahankar, buddhi, positive, negative, and neutral forces. And yeah, this also is the sole difficulty of being a medium and so on, because you also are a person and you have these kind of things, biases, attachments, and blends of actions and reactions in this subconscious, to be as empty as possible and just receptive. That's That's the trick, so to speak. And it's not always easy. Okay. The negative, positive, and neutral minds divide themselves into 81 blends, 81 different combinations of these 6 elements. I want to learn about that though before I stop reading. I cannot have read this because I don't remember this whole 81. The other things I feel like I read before. The mental facets then surrounds the thought that is released from the intellect with a projected color. The color represents a ray in the aura. It also represents the activity of the chakra. I have like my aura color is like quite clear actually. It's pretty much, what is it called? Like turquoise, yeah, in English. Yeah. Also represents activity of the chakras in the individual. So the thought becomes clouded, fogged, or surrounded by a particular color. Maybe they get to the colors also. That color that progresses on to produce feelings. Feelings go on to produce emotions, as if the thought were that other color. Okay, now that the thought is surrounded by the colors, it is cloaked in such a way that the reactions and desires that follow in the cycle of the intellect are now reacting to the fogged color. Yeah, if it's fogged though, but anyway, rather than the thought itself. Oh, each of the 81 aspects of the mind produces a specific cloaking action on the thoughts released by the intellect. That cloaking process produces a lack of clarity, a lack of accurate structure of the thought, and the nature of the color that surrounds it. This thus producing much pain from a person's inappropriate actions. Yeah, yeah, I get it. We have to be aware of this. If we are blind to our negative or positive mind, we cannot sit in meditation and we still are very lost, like also. Anyway, enter the will, the universal release of thought from the intellect, which leads to feelings and then emotions, desire, and actions. Action has 2 points at which the will coming from the soul can be applied. Between emotion and desire, you can be attached or unattached to the specific thought that is going through the sequence. Much meditation is applied at the juncture because to get emotions to become desire, the element of ahankar and personal attachment must be added. Exactly at the release point of intellect to thought is the other place where will is effective. This is the same place at which the facets of the mind automatically apply themselves. If will is applied at that level, the mind is trained to surrender the cloud around the thought and to bring the color around the thought to clear or to white. Yeah, this is also practice we do in medicine will anyway, in a sense, so that it can be perceived as it is. Beautiful. Kundalini Yoga. The techniques that alter the 81 facets. I want to know who. I want them to describe these 81 phases. No, facets, I mean, yeah. Are described in detail. Oh, it says now maybe. In the technology of Kundalini Yoga. It is the process of engaging the conscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious at the point of origin of the thoughts. This is most effectively done through Nad Yoga. I'm so interested in that. That's like mantra also, I guess, yoga. Anyway, the colors or rays that the 81 facets utilize are also represented and maybe get there. I have to go on. And balanced through the chakras, starting with the first chakra through the seventh. The colors are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and indigo, and white. This blue green then is where green blue is where mine is then. Mhm. When a thought is wrapped in white, represented thought, the seventh chakra there is both neutrality and nurturance for the true nature of the internal structure of that thought. That's wild. Okay, interesting. The white light brings full radiance and blend. That's why also they use white. Wow. I wonder if those who are educated in this, who use different colors of clothes, if they really have, if they remember this teaching or believe in this teaching. Yeah, but anyway. There is both neutrality and nutrients for the true nature of that internal structure of that thought. The white light brings full radiance and blends many colors, so the thought comes to fruition and reflects its true nature, as well as we reflect that in a way, I guess, yeah. This subtle process of evolution from the unmanifest unity to the embodied finite experience is represented within the design and structure of the body itself. Just as the chakras are associated with different areas of functioning in the body, from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, so too each of the functions covered below is represented by areas and regions in the body. The macrocosm of the universe is reflected in the qualities and structure of the microcosm of the body. That is why the body is so often referred to as a sacred vessel or temple. The Grail. Yeah, anyway. The techniques that alter the 81 facets are described in detail in the technology of Kundalini Yoga. I want to know those facets. Why are they not described in themselves? The technologies, yeah. It is the process of engaging the conscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious at the point of origin of the thoughts. The region from the heart line up controls and relates to the sense of totality, to the sense of connectedness and merger. That is where the heart and the throat chakra is like in between there. The thymus actually would supposedly be, I guess. I must read about the thymus actually. I never thought about this, interestingly enough. But anyways, it's a color, yeah, where which clouds my thoughts probably. Okay. Yeah, I could imagine. Anyway. The regions from the heart down to the pelvic line, which interact strongly with air, fire, and water elements. Not earth, apparently. Is like the realm of the mind with all of its relatives and qualities, comparisons, and possibilities. So it represents the infinity entering into the vacuum, entering into the identity that is distributed through actions across the experiences of the cosmos. The heart down to the pelvic line, right? But I have from the heart up, apparently. Relates to the sense of totality, to the sense of connectedness and merger, yeah. The region from the navel, and that is also, okay, I'll read this first. The region from the navel down to the sole of the foot is associated with the faculty of the earth, the stationary, the finite, the embodied, and the attached. Yeah, I have to train my senses again to actually see auras more because I understand them better now. I have done for quite a time, but I trained myself not to see them. I was so disturbed to see them all the time and not understanding why the shift was going on in the colors and so on. But also when it comes to the things that I do, mainly working as a medium, so on also, um, or all the things that I love to do, honestly, that I realize when it comes from a perspective of ego, where um, you want to kind of be better than others or something like that. You kind of want to boost your ego with that ability instead of having the real uh, passion or intent or like core, what can I say, like your calling. You kind of know that you want to, and your pure intent is to be of help. That is when it's clear, you know. It's nothing ego driven around it then. And that intent is very hard. You can't like teach it. It has to be there. It has to be there. Otherwise that totally comes in the way of doing these things. Yeah. Anyway, okay. I'm so interested in this now. Wow, I'm so fascinated. Every time I read this, I should do it often, more often. The rise of Kundalini integrates all these regions and produces the pure white light that releases the will to control the 81 aspects. Oh, right. Yeah, I get that now. Freeing up the creativity of the intellect directed by the intelligence of the soul. This is in the north of the medicine wheel. It should be like. It is the real task of each person and all humanity to release these fragments that are caught in the subconscious, the unfulfilled desires, the daydreams, the nightmares and fears, phobias, as well as the possibilities. If all of these fears are released and the thoughts are unclouded, then through concentration and earnest prayer and dream or our dreams of happiness, peace and prosperity in fact come true. Yeah, that's so beautiful. Kundalini yoga and meditation can facilitate an understanding of the working of the mind and teach us how to plant the seed of peace, prosperity and health into our thoughts. Yeah, it's that's all it is like, and you can do it in different ways. I sometimes teach this in a quite harsh way because that is what helped me actually to see through the bullshit of some sort of mind fuckery than our own mind keep telling us, let's say. But to push through those defenses, you have to push like quite hard. You have to like I mean, if you are very soft and very like you know, what is the expression, like in English would be like you uh, pat people not against the hairline. I don't know. Anyways, you have to we really like punch hole in those bubbles that we teach ourselves, that we talk ourselves into. And to do that, you have to be on point. Otherwise, those bubbles will stay. We can like almost sue them to be even stronger. Like you believe in it even more so. If you try to more so soothe people and be like uh, very soft around those lies that we tell ourselves, it doesn't help actually. At least I like that confrontational method. But that's not because I want to confront people. It's because I see that that is effective. That's if someone really wants to understand things, that's what helps us evolve. That's what helps us see clearer. I'm like a walking towering moment going around, like somehow tarot when you think of the tarot. But yeah, that's the only thing that helped me. Although I really don't like to meet it sometimes. Even myself, I have to work through certain things, but the only possibility to do so is no, not the only thing. This is also a softer way that is described here. But if you should work with words, let's say, on the mind and those ideas. You have to push. And many people feel like you are almost mean if you do, or even worse, maybe evil. I mean, people really can take it as if you personally attack them or try to almost bully or put them down. But that's really not the case. That have nothing to do with it have only to do with this whole thing to punch a hole in that thought bubble, let's say, so to liberate you from being captivated in that and blind to the wholeness of all the possibilities you have and are, you know. Yeah. And even when I have described that to people, when I have worked with some, when I have described it to them, this is how I work and this is how I do not take this personally. I mean, so I really warned beforehand in a soft way, but still I see, even if I mention that that is the purpose why I say this and that, you know, even exact things that I say. Some people have a really, I mean, I think they think I'm mean, but yeah, they have to go to someone else then, because I really try not to be. I really try to be sweet, but not unclear. And yeah, we all do that. I think we work with the things that we have taught us, what have learned. And I have met those people that I've tried to, from an ego perspective, try to like punch holes in others, let's say arguments and such like that. And that is not the same thing. That is sort of ego against ego thing, and that is not what I aim for at all. That's like the opposite. So I really embrace the fullness of the other person and the beauty and the awesomeness of who they are, and that is what I want them to see. So it's something entirely else, yeah. But sometimes that's not their way. That's not what works the best for them. So, but it does for me though. So, and here's an image of the cycle of the intellect. Did I even read all of this? Let's see. Yeah. I wonder if there was something else beforehand that I maybe missed. No. Anyways. Yeah, here's an image of the cycle of the intellect. I wonder where we should start here. Will is at the center here. And then we see encircled, and it moves in, let's say, clockwise at the 12 o'clock. You have the universal mind, and then we have the intellect, and then we have the thought wave, and then we have feeling, emotion, and in between there, I will get to the in between there's. Anyways, after emotion, feelings, we have desire, and then we have action, and then we have effect and karma, and then the universal mind. There are like 7 bubbles, let's say. Universal mind is 1, then the intellect is 1, thought wave is 1, emotion, feelings is 1, desires is 1, and actions is 1, and effect karma is 1, and then back to the universal mind. And between the intellect and the thought wave come these 81 facets. And in between the thought wave and emotion comes thought wave becomes cloud. No. What is it says? Cloaked in color, interjected by facets distorting its true nature. Comes there before emotions, feelings. And in between emotion, feeling comes attachment and identification. The glance secrets secrete powerfully at this point. Yeah, okay, between the emotion, feeling, and desire. That's cool. Anyway, at the center also we have the will then, and it points to the um, in between the intellect and thought wave, and in between the emotion, feeling, and the desire. And it says, when will is applied at the release point of the intellect before these 81 facets, then it will prevent the thought from being cloaked. So we can implement the will there, um, and stop these facets, so to speak, maybe. And when the will is applied at the junction, as during meditation, particularly pratyahar, one can detach from the thought. That is another place where we can do that. And that is in between. That is the point that goes to in between the emotion, feelings, and the desire, I guess, yeah? Will from the soul can be applied at 2 points in the process. Yeah, these 2 points, if you understand. It looks like if you have it pointers in the clock, it will be as if one was like just after 2 and one was pointing down to almost 6 o'clock in between emotion, feelings, and desire. Anyways. Yeah, this was cool, but wow. So mine is clouded by, but it was still good though. It was above the heart. It was like the heart and above those colors. That's awesome. And it's not wrong, the other things either. If you are like beneath, or the colors are more so like red, or if they are more so in the physical realm, it's like, it's not saying that it's wrong. It's saying where we are at. Something happened to the sound, didn't it? I must see if I touch this somehow. Yeah, anyway, so it's not that we all develop like, and we are at different places, so it's nothing better or worse. I mean, yeah, we have a clearer understanding the more we understand, of course. But it's not like it would be as if saying that children were wrong that haven't the same, but sometimes they come in as very aware beings. But still, it would be as saying development is wrong, like we are at different places, and that's perfectly fine. And from there, that's the interesting thing. Where can we go? Like, can we do? And then we have another image here: cosmic law of manifestation and being, the origin and seed of all we experience, and unmanifest and subtle, is unmanifest and subtle. The origin and seed of all we experience is unmanifest and subtle. First is consciousness, then vibration, then separation into the 3 facets or gunas, then the blending of elements and thoughts. Thoughts manifests in the world of the senses, emotions, and matter. Yeah. So here we have an image that's in the top. It says the one unmanifest consciousness, and then comes nad vibration from there. Oh, yeah. So, and then it divides into Shiva and Shakti here, or however you describe that division, like the goddess and the god in witchcraft, we would say, or Wicca. Yeah, and sometimes more so personified, like. And after that comes the 5 restrictions. What does it say here? Very little. Maya. Kaya means. What does it say here? It's very difficult to see because it's not so bright here also. But it says limits power. Oh, Kaya limits power. Vidya limits knowledge. I think it says raga limits desire. Kala limits, I don't know what it says here. Limits. What the heck does it say? Kaya limits. Maybe I have to use the glasses also, but it's very dark here. Time, it says. Okay, and then we have whatever that says. Like, how can I have so little text in a book? That's not smart. Anyways, it says like Bayati or something limits. Space. Niyati, it says, limit space. Okay. Those are the Maya, the 5 restrictions. And then, what is this called? I mean, it's like from the top downwards here, the energy flows of consciousness. Then we have whatever it says. Trishtika maybe or something. I'm not sure. How can it? I don't know what it says there. It's something before the tamas, rajas, and sattva. They have also, it's blurred like the text. So the 3 gunas. What's before them? I'm not sure. It says, I think, Purush. I don't know. Anyway, and then from those comes manas, ahankar. I mean, manas comes from tamas, ahankar from rajas, buddhi from sattva, and prakriti, nature, is these tamas, rajas, and sattva also. And chitta is universal mind. It's like chitta is manas, ahankar, and buddhi then. And then comes the blending of elements and thoughts. And then it goes down to 3 different, in 3 different ways, like senses, emotions, and matter. And that it manifests in various ways. In all of these 3. The senses, emotions, and matter. Okay, I wish I could read this word. It could say Purusha, maybe Purusha or something before the tamas, rajas, and sattva. Anyway, okay. So maybe maybe it says it here. Let's see. The structure of thought. It also describes it beside this image. Each thought that is produced in the intellect is like a well-crafted sculpture. It has its own form, its own dimension, its own internal structure. Yeah. Yogi Bhajan has said that each thought has an antra, which is its essence. Oh, each thought it is this. Oh, wow. This antra has a characteristic yantra, dimensional proportion, a specific mantra, the kind of structure that supports it, a characteristic mantra or sound vibration, a yantra, a visual form radiance. This thought then engages the universe in a complex way. It is called Tantra, the web of polarities that holds the essence of the thought. Wow, that is what I've always been fascinated by Tantra, and I don't mean this in this sexual way only, but especially other ways actually. But Tantra means the web of polarities that holds the essence of the thought. How beautiful. That web has a projected path or action in the universe. Patanira. Patanira. Oh. The perfection and completion of that orbit or of action in relationship to the essence of the projected thought aligned with the soul is called Sotani. What does it say? Sotantra. Sotantra. Okay. All right. Nothing says the word I seek there. I think it's Purusha, maybe. Anyway. All of these together form a powerful projected reality with a thought. That is its essence. If you can react to the thought at its true structural essence, you can gain power over its manifestation. Yeah. When the 81 facets cloak the thought in the color, this internal structure is hidden, and you can no longer react to the thought in its own actual nature with its own specific requirements. It is like trying to drive a car with a paddle. It is ineffective and inappropriate. Wow, but still, I wonder what this, if it was possible to define these 81 things. Why are they 81 even? Yogi Bhajan describes the balanced mind. When your mind is balanced and refined, it serves your soul and consciousness, and it mixes your tattvas to give you both divinity and dignity. The temperament of your soul is divinity. It is the desire to be good that makes you a human. It is living as good that makes you a sage. Yeah, living as good is that makes you a sage. Beautiful. You live goodness when your personality is touched by the quality of divinity in you. You always have a choice with all these gifts. You can buy any bait for a price and fall apart, or you can be aware of and act from your own ultimate life. When you sense your own ultimate life and your mind supports you with all that tattvas, you have an automatic consolidated dignity. It is a quality that penetrates every action and word. If you can work out the projection and involvement of your mind, it can take you anywhere. All right. Yogi Bhajan in dialogue with his mind. All right. Interesting. This is how my mind and I speak to each other. Let's see. What is that? You are timeless. You are spaceless. You are nothing less. You are just my servant. Tell me how you can serve me. Intuitively show me through vision. If not, shut up. I don't need you. I can do it myself. No, no, no. I am your mind. I am you. God gave me to you to serve you. I can tell you pros and cons, positive, negative, neutral. I am very good. I am the source of intuition. I am the source of thought. I am the source of ecstasy. I'm the source of everything. I just tell him, I found my source. I have to drink a bit. Meanwhile. It will be more, but I have to take some water. Interesting. I cannot have read this before. I just tell him, I found my source. You're part of me, and you have gone berserk, idiot. So don't talk to me with this garbage. Let me do devotion. I don't want anything from you, my mind. Go somewhere else. Serve someone else. I have seen it all, and now it is my time and my privilege to utter Vahe Guru. No, no, no. I am your relative. I love you. Yes, everybody is my relative. You won't hurt me. If you cannot see God in all, you cannot see God at all. Let us relay, however you say that, at the same level, let me say Vaheguru and let you say Vaheguru. Let us have a relationship at the same frequency. Let us have the same clarity. Let us have the same reality because we have the same Guru, the same God. Beautiful. I don't care for the words maybe about God and Guru, stuff like that, but it doesn't matter. So if we understand the essence of it. So I wonder if I should pause soon. I don't think they will tell about this, about those 81, I mean, things. Maybe I should actually. No, I will have to read this first. It's like navigation the inner spaces of the mind. 4 of Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga practice deal with navigating the the mediator, sorry, through the inner space of the mind. They are Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. In Kundalini Yoga, we recognize the integrative nature of these states. Emphasis is on mastery through identifying and utilizing these states. Pratyahara, to control and synchronize the mind to the infinite. It is the science of finding the nucleus of every finite which is infinite. I must read that again because I was somewhere. Pratyahara, to control and synchronize the mind to the infinite. It is the science of finding the nucleus of every finite which is infinite. Yeah. Dharana, concentration, consistent penetration of thought, consistent projectivity, holding the mind with a center of consciousness or on an object. Yeah. Dhyana, meditation, deep merger into the object of concentration, which causes a flow of thought waves, uninterrupted and continuous, to which the mediator does not react. One is aware of the thoughts, but not involved with them. And samadhi, total identification with spirit, the deep experience of me and God, God and me are one. Yeah, I think I have that though, oftentimes. Maybe I forget, and maybe that's when I'm fully aware. Anyway, benefits of meditation. Meditation is the process of controlling and transcending the waves of the mind, allowing the flow of radiance from the soul. Yeah. Meditation is for everyone. It uses the inherent self-sensory system, the mind and the body. Through the use of refined patterns, meditation creates a communication between you and your mind, and between your mind and your body. Yeah. Meditations which use mantra work on the upper palate of the mouth, which controls the automatic system and the impulsations of the old brain and limbic systems. Meditation develops the neutral meditative mind, takes us from a finite to an infinite, or finite, maybe you say, no, finite, I think, to an infinite perception of reality by connecting us to the clarity of the soul. Promotes a sense of well-being, inner peace, stability, and calm. Develops the intuition. Releases reactions and unconscious habits, subconscious fears and blocks, and builds the spontaneous and intuitive links to awareness itself. Encourages mastery over transforming emotion to devotion. Yeah, beautiful. Promotes the ability to focus energy, enhancing effectiveness and efficiency. Promotes the clarity of mind, mental awareness, and the ability to be present. Resolves core issues and or stress-producing patterns. Develops the frontal lobe of the forehead, which controls your personality. Very beautiful. And Simran, the conscious experience of the meditative mind. Simran is a conscious, meditative, longingly creative feeling in which life is experienced as a spiritual flow. super beautiful. And then we have a meditation, a simple process. Should I even read more? I'm a little bit tired now. It's too much, I think. I think I will leave that to another day. Wow. Yeah. All of these things are super interesting to me. Super, super interesting to me. I will take one thing to chew on. I guess I have nothing more to say right now. Yeah, I don't know what to say. This is super interesting. And I go back and forth in my practices, I must say. But this understanding, I'm sorry that it took me a while. But not so sorry since I do it. But anyway, I need some sort of understanding to do certain things when it comes to anything, like making my bed. And I was like that since forever. If I don't understand why I don't do it, I mean, if someone says like, you should do this, and I don't understand the purpose, maybe I try because you could figure out that way. But I really love to understand what happens, although I have had the effects of this before knowing this, but to have me having the patience to continue to do certain things, this understanding make it easier. Yeah. So I need to get, so to speak, back up on the horse a little bit more consistently. I have, I don't know, I've lost it a little bit. A few things that I've been working on drifted away, or maybe I drifted. It was like, maybe everything was colored by these things that I have with this turquoise color around the heart chakra. Yeah, that's quite real actually. And the throat chakra, because I've been teaching a lot as well. When that becomes like more important than the practices, I mean, I do a lot of practices in various ways. So, but I mean, if it takes over and I don't take the time to really do the things I also need to continue, that's not perfect. So, this gave me a lot of inspiration. And yeah, so I will get back. Yeah, at least some sound salutations and some Satkriya. And the breathing techniques I absolutely adore and love them. Also those Nam things. I mean, in Satkriya you say Satnam, or you think it at least. We actually usually say it in groups anyway. But yeah, what it does is so fantastic. So yeah, everyone should have access to these things. That's why I want to teach it, because it have really revolutionized my life. Yeah, I probably should use different wordings in some ways than Yogi Bhajan did, but I always felt like this whole dressed all in white and all that and it have several purposes, because it reflects things obviously. It reflects away, and that's a good thing if you don't want to absorb a lot of things around you. And the more you open up, especially if you open up quickly, as Kundalini does, yoga and yoga does, that is a wonderful protection. And I also understand why you have this thing in your head, because that is also protection. Yeah. Yeah, and there is a purpose to it. I don't think it's just a tradition or I mean, also traditions comes from somewhere, obviously, but the Sikh, I mean, it does have impact. I do believe so. Yeah. I usually don't have something on my head, but I have tried it. I'm not good at doing those. But I love it when I have it. It's very comforting, especially for someone drifting in all directions. Oftentimes, my mind does. Um, it like it's very soothing for a brain or mind working like mine. I have a lot of vata. It moves very quickly in various directions, and here it sounds slow, though I know, because I also speak in English, but also my mind is quicker than my words, let's say, and sometimes when it goes in many directions, it's very difficult to speak in one direction at the same time. So, anyways, it really suits me. It really keeps like it holds its whole things together. I get so much relaxation and comfort from that. So, and I did from the beginning when I went to those classes, that everyone had white was such a peaceful experience for my mind. It gave an extra effect actually on me. I think spiritually also. It was calming in a specific sense. Yeah, it seems a little bit complicated though. Not wearing white is not too complicated, but this whole um, thing on your head. I mean, I'm not one for complicated things. I want to make things easy, but yeah, I see the purpose of it, and actually, as I mentioned, I feel like yeah, it really gives me a lot to use it. So yeah, it's very calming. So I think I will have to go back to that then, some sort of practice. Yeah, we will see. Anyways, I will at least get back to the daily practices and do them regularly because yeah, that keeps me on track. That keeps me in contact with what I really need and it cleanses, I guess, the things that I don't. Yeah. So I love it when I do it. It's just like, yeah, suddenly other things just is everywhere and you feel like you need to take care of them instead almost. And it have been so for a little while now. But I've thought about it all the time. Oh, I should do this. And then just time just flies. But I think this is a saying when it comes to meditations that if you are like stressed, I haven't been extremely stressed though. I love things that I do, but it have been it have been a lot. Yeah. So I think it's like if you feel relaxed, then you maybe can do it for 10 minutes or something like that, or a few minutes. But if you are stressed, you should sit and meditate for an hour. I don't know how the saying exactly is, but something like that. And that's absolutely true. You need it so much. You really need then to slow down and to get in touch with yourself. We need that so very much in our society. We sometimes don't get those, I think, natural pauses that people previously in generations and times had. Also, with this whole information that comes through online and everything, but also, and all the contacts all over the world. But also the connection with nature that, you had those moments where you could relax into looking into sunset or just looking at a beautiful tree or touching, you got all that like naturally, almost automatically, you could say then. And in this time and age, maybe that's not as much so, and we still need it even more so. yeah, I will end now then, and hope someone gets something out of this aside from myself that actually gets something out of it. Yeah. And bye for now. Talk to you some other day, and feel free to comment if you want or ask questions. Maybe I can answer them, maybe not, but I'm trying to learn. So, well, bye for now.